3, 2, 1. What's up, guys? This is Headkick Audio, episode number 13. I don't know why I'm only holding up threes.
It's the 333.
That's 333. It's only 9.
Oh, well, add a couple more threes. I don't know. I suck at math.
All right. So, hi, guys. This is our first video recording of the podcast. We had a bunch of shit go on this fucking weekend, dude. I mean, it literally, it started on Tuesday, and the only thing that didn't happen between, Tuesday and now was Bellator or PFL. So, the other two major organizations, they were silent tonight or this week, right? But we still had Titan. We had LFA. We had the Dana White's Contender Series. We had UFC. We had Cage Warriors. I mean, there was a lot going on this weekend, man.
There was a lot. And Cage Warriors and Titan FC, I was not able to watch.
Okay.
Because one, I kind of forgot. And two, I just fucking forgot.
Well, see, the good thing of bring it a little bit closer to your. We're gonna have some audio, but we're gonna need to bring that closer. Your microphone.
Mm-hmm.
So either. Yeah, that could work.
Yeah.
There we go. All right, so I caught Titan last night and this morning. It was kind of one of those things.
Oh, gotcha.
Because we were doing shit, with the fam, and then I was like, all right, because we're watching all the Marvel movies. We're trying to watch them in order. So we were doing Iron Man last night. So.
Ooh, you were doing Iron Man last night?
No.
Ah, I see.
No.
You're into that mechanical shit.
No. So we were watching Iron Man, and then after we were done watching Iron Man, I was watching LFA 70, which we'll get to that in a bit. And then I'm like, okay, cool. It's only 2 o'clock in the morning. I bet you I can squeeze Titan in, and then head over to Sierra Vista in the morning. Well, I caught some of Titan, and then I must have passed out and woke up during the main event.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So my memory is very scattered. So what I did was I just kind of started that card from the last fight that I remember, right?
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And then I was watching that while I was eating breakfast, brushing my teeth. Not while I was in the shower, because I don't have a TV in there yet. Okay? Because it's a goal of mine to get a TV in every single fucking room in my house. The wife doesn't approve of it yet.
She will. Just kidding.
Or I'll just do it and she'll have to live with it, right? Excuse me. So like I said, so this morning and last night I caught Titan. Cage Warriors, we'll just go over results. We had a big UFC card today. This was on Big ESPN. We had a couple fighters that we've interviewed, so I wanted our focus to be on the UFC.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So that's why we didn't have the extra laptop set up to watch Cage Warriors, but we'll go over results because I want to give them love.
Gotcha.
Cage Warriors, they're an excellent promotion. They're fucking constantly putting fighters in the UFC and Bellators, and even possibly the PFL. The PFL does a lot of international shit. So I like to give your Cage Warriors your KSW. That's the other promotion that's across the pond. I try to give them as much love as I can. So I tried to watch them this morning because I had finished with the Titan, and so I was like, oh well, maybe I can fucking watch some Cage Warriors before we have to take off. Now, mind you, it's already 10:30, and that's when you told me to leave. Leave about 10:30, and so I go to watch it, right, and it says, oh, this thing doesn't start until 2:15 or something.
Oh, damn.
Right, because we're in that Mountain Standard Time. We're on that Arizona time, so it kind of fucks us every which way, right?
Yeah.
So I'm that's going to be on the same time as the UFC, so we'll probably just have to go over results. So
gotcha.
And I saw some highlights and stuff. It wasn't a bad card. So we'll go ahead and go over that. But the big news of tonight, bro, the big news of tonight is Francis Ngannou he's still terrifying.
Very.
He's just one of the scariest things I've ever seen in my fucking life. And the fact that JDS, and I'm going to give props to Herb Dean, okay? They both got locked in that cage with that dude.
Fucking locked in a cage with a fucking animal. Like,
that is
fucking
the scariest fucking, like, I was more nervous. Like, JDS signed up for it, right? And he's got power. He's a fighter, right? I'm not saying Herb Dean isn't, but Herb Dean did not sign on a dotted line saying, hey, if I die in this cage, it is what it is. Like, Herb Dean, like, refs don't sign that. You know what I mean? So the fact that Herb has the balls to get in there, you're saying, like, if they said, hey, Steve, do you want to ref this fight? I say, fuck no.
yeah,
no.
Like, I don't want to die today.
You know, because the refs, like, and I have seen some refs just kind of like, you know, stop, you know, doing that whole thing where their body's as far away as possible, but their hands are in the middle.
Yeah, please stop pummeling him. You're going to kill him.
You know what I mean? But guys like, I've seen Dan get in there, right? Herzog is my favorite because Herzog gives zero fucks. He's one of the smallest referees. He's not the smallest. Because that little Peterson, I think it's Keith Peterson, are you ready? Are you ready? Fight! You know?
Yeah.
So there's
like
that little dude, right? But Jason Herzog, like, he's the tiniest fucking, like, one of the tiniest referees, right? And he don't give a fuck who he's officiating, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna jump in the middle and he's gonna take blows, and I've seen it happen. I've seen him get fucking clipped in the middle. I've seen him get clipped in the shoulder. You know what I mean? So, still. Balls, man. That takes balls to get locked in there. See, I couldn't do it.
Yeah, well, that check better have been fat.
They don't even get paid that much.
I think if you take a fight that's as dangerous as Ngannou versus Dos Santos, dude, you better be fucking paying.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
a little bit more than minimum wage for a ref, I guess.
Well, okay, so they get paid probably like $1,500. I don't know if it's like per fight or like for the evening, right? So, I mean, I guess that's pretty good money. Like, let's just say you're working the whole event, right? And the prelims are 4 hours, main card's 4 hours, or 2 and 2, or whatever it is. I don't really see like an official actually officiating for more than 8 hours, right?
Yeah.
Because the shit's broken up. They don't officiate every fight, right? And there's other officials there, and then, there's, stuff in between fights. But they also have to do like the locker room talk where, you're not allowed to hook, even though we saw that tonight. You're not allowed to grab the cage, even though we saw that tonight. You know what I mean? Yeah. We saw a lot of fouls being committed that they're told, but so to get paid $1,500, even just for the night's work or the day's work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as long as like they're getting their flights taken care of and all that shit, like they're being comped all of that, then like it's a pretty sweet gig. But I don't know. I think what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to get a referee on the show.
I think we should. I think we should make that happen.
I think that we should get like a Herzog or a Herb Dean.
I'm down for that.
You know what I mean? Even while we're on the subject of fucking referees, okay? So on that Titan card, there was a fight that went like way past what it should, right? And you're like yelling, "Stop the fight! Stop the fight! Stop the fight!" And the fight just keeps continuing until the guy like obviously collapses and has like nothing fucking like, dude, it was nuts.
Oh shit!
You know what I mean? The highlights are on the interwebs. So yeah, but refs like. Up until that point, like I have felt like the refs have been on point. Look at LFA 70. Rob Hines officiating that main event. There was too many blows to the back of the head.
Yeah.
Too many fucking blows to the back of the head. And, that's where I hate like fandom, like they don't understand. Like, if I punched you in the back of the head as hard as I could, where are you going to be? You know what I mean? Where are you going to be? These are fucking heavyweights. One is too many.
Yeah. And I think that dude, he ended up taking like 6 hits, like the first time when he got that warning and the 2-point.
And there was a lot of warnings. Like Rob Hines is sitting there, watch the back of the head, watch the back of the head. That's one of those things where I'm just like, okay, look, if he's throwing 12 punches and 11 hit the ear, right? Because you got to at least hit the ear.
Yeah.
You know, at least when I was in there, that's what they told me. You can't hit in the back of the head, which is kind of like the mohawk thing that, like, John will tell you. It's kind of like the mohawk thing. But as long as, like, any part of your fist, I keep, like, punching these headphones. As long as, like, any part of your fist is touching the ear right here, then it's illegal. But this, like, see how I'm not touching?
Yeah.
That's illegal. You know what I mean? So, like, they even give you, like, they give you, like, the slimmest of margins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But still, like, you're in control of all your weapons, right? And, like...
Well, you have to, because you could seriously, you know, kill somebody.
Yeah. And so, and that's when, like, they're like, boo, boo, and I'm just like, bro, at one punch to the back of the head. There's no warning for the back of the head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's warning for the fingers, you know, because fighters, they're not used to it yet.
Yeah.
It's a brand new rule. Back of the head that's not new.
Yeah, I think that's probably been in the rule book since, I don't know, somebody probably died and they're like, hey, we need to have a rule that says no punching in the back of the head.
I don't think it was, you know, that somebody died. I just think they're, you know, back when the UFC and, you know, mixed martial arts had first, like, come out, it was, like, so barbaric and there wasn't any rules. So guys like, you know, John McCarthy and, you know, guys from early on in the game, like, they kind of, like, wrote the rule book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, did you hear that Dana White's trying to get John Jones's DQ loss overturned?
Why?
Because, and Joe Rogan agrees, okay, and I also agree, the 12-6 elbow, okay. The only reason why I bitch when guys throw a 12-6 elbow is because I'm one of those fucking, like, dickheads that's like a stickler for the rules, even if I don't agree with it, right? I think a 12-6 elbow, it's a bullshit rule. Because do you think I can do more damage like this or do more damage like this? If I pull tie plumb your head and slam your face into my knee, I'm gonna do more damage that way than I'm going to with a 12-6 elbow.
Yeah,
now
exactly, because you're generating more force because you're pulling and you're also bringing your leg
exactly.
Up,
so why is this illegal?
I don't know.
Why is it illegal? You know what I mean? Like the kidney kicks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not illegal in most commissions anymore. Like, that's one of the rules that they actually were just like, that's stupid. You know what I mean? So it's just like, come on, man. Let's get with the times. If that, you know, if the tie plumb to knee, if that's legal, then this should be legal. And so that's what Dana White's trying to. He's trying to make the case that, like, you know, those are old school rules, and that shouldn't even be a rule. Because if I throw a head kick and knock you out, but I throw a 1-12-6 and I don't, well, which one did more damage?
Exactly.
Okay, it's going to be the head kick because it puts your lights out, right? But if I kick you in the head, I just take the W and I go home. I throw the 12-6 elbow and hurt your face, you know, as much as a 12-6 elbow could, and I have a loss on my record.
Yeah, because well, with that 12-6, all you're doing is you're generating the force with your arm, your shoulder.
It's a stupid fucking rule.
But with the kicks, yeah, like, you should outlaw the kicks because that you have to, like, rotate your hips, and a lot of that torque and speed come from the hips. That's right, baby.
It's all in the hips.
And so when you do that, like, you're generating that force. So when you hit, it's lights out.
I don't know, man. It's just like I said. It's just one of those things where, like, the referees, like, they do have the hardest job. I think the easiest job in MMA, 9 times out of 10, because there are those fights that are just like, I don't know who won, but it's judging.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If they had intelligent judges in there, like, the game would be completely different. You know what I mean? There would be guys like Eric Anders who would actually hold a win over Machida. You know what I mean? Guys like Ross Pearson owning a win over fucking Diego Sanchez. You know what I mean? So, anyway, we're getting way the fuck off subject. You know what I mean? Because let's not even, like, get into, like, judging.
Yeah.
I want to...
That's a whole nother spiel for a whole nother episode.
Well, I don't even think we should get into it, like, ever.
Probably not.
Probably not, because I might say things. And They probably could get me in trouble. So let's stick away from judging.
All right, we backtrack.
Okay. So yeah, Francis Ngannou's a bad motherfucker. That was the original point we were trying to make, right? Is that he's a bad dude. And that's not saying that JDS isn't, but goddamn, dude, he put him out in a little over a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He kind of did to Dos Santos what Dos Santos did to Kane back in, I think it was like 2011 when they did the UFC on Fox. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like that happened. Well, okay, so would that be like 8 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And that's like 8 years. It's like a whole fight career, right? Except for heavyweights because they can go later. You know what I mean? Except for Pichel. Did you hear that motherfucker? He's 36 years old.
Yeah, I was kind of blown away by that. I was like, well, maybe I ought to start getting in there and do something.
Yeah, but what would your weight be? What would your weight class be?
Right now?
No. Right now we know you're a fucking heavyweight.
Yeah, right now I'd probably die by whoever I get in the cage with. I don't know. Let's see. I'm 5'7", so my weight would probably be. I could probably, if I really wanted to, like if it was like a healthy weight, it would be like 220, maybe even 205.
So you're gonna have to fight John Jones. That's what you're
maybe
saying.
A little bit less. Because I'd like to keep the muscle and shit. So yeah, probably 205. I'd go 205.
205 at 5'7". You're trying to be like Deron Wynn, just this little fucking dude weighing all kinds. Still, I mean, motherfucker's undefeated. So who knows what you could do?
I know.
At light heavyweight, it'd be like, who's this little guy?
like, oh, what the fuck? What was that game? The Mike Tyson punch out. You're like the little guy, and all the guys are like, all right, let's fight.
Well, that's right, because Tyson wasn't even that big. You know what I mean? Tyson was probably like, what, 212?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He wasn't a big guy. Nah, he's probably... Well, we won't talk about Mike Tyson.
Yeah, he'll kill us.
Now Kith. That's one of my favorite fucking memes ever. Anyway, we're going off topic again. So let's rewind. Let's go ahead and start back over at Dana White's Contender Series, right? So there was 5 fights this week, right? Mm-hmm. And there was 2 contracts given out.
Yep.
And there was 0 finishes.
Which I was kind of bummed about, but at the same time, really good fights. Everybody, they worked their game plan, and they worked it. Everyone just worked it to the best of their ability, and a
lot of these fights were one-sided, though.
Yeah.
A lot of these fights were very
Some
one-sided.
game plans worked better than others, I guess.
Yeah. And all these guys, they're fighting for, a chance to get a contract, or, one of those, like, what do they call them? I forget how they did it, but it's like getting them ready to get into the UFC, right?
Oh, like prepping or something.
Yeah, like there's a fucking word for it. But so 2 contracts were given out. One was given out to Miles Johns, okay, and the other one was given out to
Miguel Baeza.
Yeah, Baeza.
Baeza. I think it's Baeza.
Okay, and again, both of these fights went the distance. You also had so Miles Johns defeated Richie Santiago, which Richie Santiago, I believe, is CES, and Miles Johns, I think, is LFA.
Yeah, I think if I understood right, Miles. I don't know if he's like the current champion or if he was like a former
LFA.
No, LFA champion. Current. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I forgot which one I heard. I forgot to put
and
that
I believe, because I've seen Richie Santiago before, so I think he's CES. So that right there, like, at least for me, back when like CES, LFA, or sorry, Legacy and RFA were all on Access TV, it was 3 promotions, right? And so CES is more like New England, right? Like Rhode Island, all those.
Oh, like the northeastern
type.
Yeah.
Right, and then RFA was a promotion that Ed Soares had put together, kind of like to have a promotion where like up and comers and like veterans that are trying to like get back, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was Resurrection Fighting Alliance is what RFA stood for, and then you had Legacy Fighting Championship. And then when Mick Maynard went to the UFC, not to fight, ladies and gentlemen, he's just a matchmaker. When he went to the UFC, RFA and Legacy became Legacy Fighting Alliance. So now it's LFA, right? A little history.
Oh, okay.
But see, so I was like a big fan of Access TV, and it was like, how would Legacy do against RFA? And how would RFA do against CES? And so you have like this triangle of like just badass little promotions that were constantly putting fighters into the fucking UFC. You know what I mean? And now like it's kind of cool because you're starting to see like these smaller promotions get like a boost. You know what I mean? It's kind of like college basketball, right? Or college football. You get all these like colleges, which would be like your LFAs, your RFAs. Well, RFAs not anymore. So like your LFAs, your CESs, Titans in there. I mean CFFC, they're putting their fighters into the UFC. You know what I mean? So all these little tiny promotions are like colleges. So the UFC is like recruiting from these places. You know what I mean? So and all these winners on here, you had a CFFC champ go in. You had an LFA champ go in. So you have like some of these guys coming in from these little promotions. And now, like, I don't know exactly how the Contender Series, like, does he, excuse me, if he has like a certain amount of contracts he's allowed to give out a week, or, you know, if he's just like, well, fuck it. You know, we have the room, or, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know how exactly that works out with like the UFC's roster.
Yeah.
So, but regardless, this was the first time that there wasn't a finish, and he still gave out 2 contracts. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I was seeing a couple of the highlights, I guess, from the reading of the contracts and stuff, and he said that even though there wasn't a finish, he said that I think he was talking about Baeza when I watched it. He was like, it wasn't a finish, but I liked his ground game, and he said even though like I wanted a finish, he was just phenomenal on the ground. You know, his transitions were good. You know, he was able to keep dominant position. He wasn't just sitting there laying on him. He was moving around, trying to get the better position and stuff like that. And so he was like, yeah, it may have not been a finish, but it was damn good, I guess, wrestling, if you will.
I think, okay, so like, this kind of like proves that you don't have to get a finish, right? You don't have to get a finish at Dana White's Contender Series to get a contract. I think what Dana White was trying to put into these fighters' heads is you're not going to get a contract if you're not trying to finish the fight.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? He wants to have fighters that have that desire to win. Okay? And the best one you can get is a finish in the UFC. You know what I mean? Well, a finish in any organization. But, like I said, so this proved the myth. You don't have to get a finish. But I think it also, like, it changes the narrative a little bit for Dana White's Contender Series. Yeah. Now you don't have to, you know, you don't have to get a finish, but you have to put on a type of performance where you're at least looking for it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, so, I mean, like, and I think, like, even if as long as, like, the fighter, I think, would be, like, really exciting. Like, I don't know if he's ever, like, picked, don't want to sound too rough, but, like, I don't know if he's ever picked a loser over a winner, like, just based on the performance. Like, yeah, they may have lost.
No, I don't think he's... But I have seen losers, like, either come back to the show or get, like, a late notice fight with the UFC. So, and it's not like, you know, let's just say you win, right? Because there was 5 fights, and you had 2 guys go into the UFC. So there's 3 winners that didn't go into the UFC. You know what I mean?
True.
So those guys, they could return to the Contender Series. They can go into the Ultimate Fighter, or they can get like a late notice replacement fight in the actual UFC. Because in my opinion, like these fights right here on the Contender Series, like they should be UFC fights. They should count.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just like I think the Ultimate Fighter wins should count, at least towards a UFC record. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you get on to Contender Series, then like you basically, depending on the outcome of the fight, you're a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not everybody who wins these fights are UFC caliber, right?
Yeah.
You could have somebody go in and get a lucky punch and fucking get a contract, and then they just get mauled. And it's like, whoop, they go in, they get chewed up, and then they get spit out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that those the exhibitions on the Ultimate Fighter and the Contender Series, I think they should count.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean it's kind of getting them prepared for the transition from where they're coming from, whether it's from another promotion or well, yeah, it would have to be. Well, I don't know if they've had like any walk-ons like how they do with like college teams or like even the like pro teams for like the NFL or NHL. I don't know if they've had somebody just come in and be like, hey, I want to fight, can I have a contract? Like, I don't think that's ever happened. At least like since I've been watching and knowing the sport.
CM Punk.
Technically, he still had some form of like. It wasn't like he just came off the couch and was like, I want to fight. Like, yeah, he was doing the whole WWE thing and whatever. But I mean, that I think to me that would still be getting in shape for something like that. It may not be as strenuous or I don't know what the word would be.
Okay, but walk-ons in other sports,
But like, say like, oh, I don't want to be at my house anymore. I'm just gonna go fucking drive to fucking Phoenix and go to the Cardinal Stadium and be like, hey guys, I want to be on your team. I'm gonna try out.
You can do that?
You can, but nine times out of 10, they're like, oh, you can't even fucking do this.
I don't know. Larry Fitzgerald better watch out, man. I got some moves. That guy's a fucking future Hall of Famer, man.
Yeah, he is. Very good.
But this is not a football show. This is not a basketball show. What are you doing over there?
Excuse me.
This is an MMA show, bro.
I know.
This is Headkick Audio. This is episode motherfucking 13. So let's get back to this MMA thing.
I'm trying.
Okay.
My tangents aren't working, I guess.
All right. So, quick results on Dana White's Contender Series. You had Tony Johnson defeat Alton Cunningham. You had Justin Gonzalez defeat Zach Zane. ZZ. You had Kyle Dawkins, right? Am I saying that right? Dawkins?
Yeah.
Okay. He defeated Michael Lombardo. Miles Johns defeated he defeated Richie Santiago, and then Michael Beza defeated Victor Reina. So that concludes Dana White's Contender Series. What is that, number 19?
Number 18.
18?
Yeah. I thought they would do it.
That's for you.
I thought they would do it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I thought they would do it as like series like 17 episode like 1, 2, 3.
No, they're already doing that with like the ESPNs and all that shit. So we don't need like any extra
numberage.
Yeah, no, just Dana White's Contender Series 18. I like it. It's short. It's concise. Next, LFA 70, and this was a
fantastic card,
dude. And it really sucks the way that it ended.
Yeah,
and it literally took away from like one of the best cards that LFA's ever put on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm not talking about like names. You know what I mean? Because there was not a lot of quote-unquote star power.
Yeah.
Right? Everything was kind of revolving around this heavyweight semifinal.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Which I'm really, like, totally into, like, the tournament style. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Tournament styles, like, you know, what Bellator's doing with their Grand Prix, what they did with their heavyweights. They're kind of like, hey. But I will say, there was a tweet out there after this main event. We'll get to that. So just remind me, because we know how forgetful I am.
All right.
Oh, he's going to actually write it down.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, so Alex Polizzi defeated Pierre Waltos via TKO.
Walters.
What'd I say?
Waltos.
Waltos? Oh, man. At least I didn't say Waters. I guess it could be worse, right?
Waters probably would have been better.
Yeah, right?
Waltos.
Okay, so let's just say like this was the night of finishes, and the one fight that didn't like end in a finish, it was phenomenal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Lloyd McKinney defeated Gonzalo Ponce.
Yeah, I think it might just be Ponce. I think it was.
Okay, and then Dante Shiro defeated Armandel, right? Because it was Armandel Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that was your decision. You had a couple 30-27s and then a 29-27. Okay, and then Jake, is this Childers or Childers?
Childers.
Childers? Bro, that fucking shit was sick.
Yeah.
That it wasn't a record, okay, but it may have been for their weight class.
It actually was. It actually is a record. They thought it was the first fastest knockout. That is actually the second fastest knockout in LFA for the featherweights.
Okay, so it's the second. So there's
I forgot what the name of the guy was that they said, but his knockout was 8 seconds.
still, like that's pretty fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Like you're ready for a 3-round fucking war, right? Okay, and these are, you know, they're little guys. I'm not saying like, you know, the type of people they are, but this is like a smaller promotion, so they're not getting paid like 10-10, right?
Yeah.
They're probably getting paid like 3-3 if they're lucky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you go in there ready for fucking 15 minutes of just fucking war. I'm ready to lose half my fucking body's blood. You know? And then just 13 seconds later, you're just like, well, shit, I won. Yeah, you know what I mean? I wouldn't know what that would feel like. I lost both of my fights. That's probably why.
Well, I guess you also got to look at it too. Like, yeah, you have all that like adrenaline going in there because you're getting yourself psyched up, and you know, you get out there, you fucking just destroy in 13 seconds. What the fuck do you do with the rest of that adrenaline that you have pumping through your body?
Usually those guys just go, ah! You know, they just scream, and then I'd imagine there's probably mucho cervezas.
You know, there'd have to be something because that is a lot of
like pent up energy.
A lot of everything, energy, testosterone, all kinds of shit, whatever.
Just go like smash your wife or your girlfriend for 15 minutes. Well, actually, okay, so let's do the math here. That'd actually be 14 minutes and 47 seconds.
Hey, fucking do it.
If she can handle it. You know what I mean?
Give her some water. It's going to be a long ride.
Stay hydrated, baby.
That's right.
I got you for the next 14 minutes and 47 seconds. Okay, so history made. Awesome. Mark Lemminger, right? Am I saying that right? Lemminger defeated Isaac Steele. It was a slick guillotine, man.
That was
a slick guillotine. And then in your main event, you had Brett Martin defeat Renan Ferreira via DQ. Illegal strikes to the back of the head. And this is what we were talking about in the beginning of the show.
Now, I wonder if, I mean, I know it's like really stupid or cliche.
Is that your ice machine?
I think so. Shut up, ice machine. You're going to fucking agree with me.
Okay.
What if everything did get kind of lost in translation while they were out there? Like, nobody... I think the only thing that probably could have happened that should have happened is probably getting like a translator from the corner of Ferreira.
I will say that the ball was kind of dropped there, right?
But
because to make sure that the guy understood when but when the 2 points were taken, didn't they have the translator out there?
I didn't see, or I don't know if they. I don't know
because I don't remember. My memory doesn't go that far back.
I didn't see anybody do any translation.
Or it only works that far back when it wants to.
Yeah, when you want to prove a fucking point,
right? That's why I always lose arguments with the wife because I can't remember anything, and then I'm like, nah, fuck that. That's bullshit. I remember that, and she's just like, whatever, because she knows that she's probably right. I mean, she got the president's list in school. Yeah, I just shouldn't argue. I shouldn't argue with this woman. She's probably in the other room going, Motherfucker. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I will say that at least from my memory, like that ball was probably dropped. But okay, so when they're in the back, they tell you, so you have your translator right there, okay, and the ref is telling you what's illegal, what's legal, like what you can do, what you can't do. Okay, so it probably looks a lot like this, right? Strikes to the back of the head, illegal.
Yeah.
No, you know what I mean? Because people who speak a different language than us, we tend to like get our child's voice, and what I mean by that is like we act like we're talking to a child.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we want to be understood. We want to make sure that they get what we're saying, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, no, mijo. Okay, listen. No punchy to the back of the head. Okay, do you understand? And then the translator go, okay, yeah, you know, just shit. He'll tell the guy in his language, you know, no strikes to the back of the head. That's illegal. Okay, so I'll say that. What is that noise? Is that your fucking ice machine again?
Yeah. Sounds like a damn snake.
We'll just no. See, they don't have to know it was a snake, but don't worry. I killed it.
Good job, because I'm dead.
I know you're afraid of snakes. They couldn't see it, but you were on top of the table screaming like a little girl, and I killed the snake. We edited that part of the video out.
That's right.
And, you know, that part of the audio out. See how seamless? That's how good at editing we are. That's how good we are, right? Okay, well anyways, so they tell you in the back. So they shouldn't have to tell you again when you're in the middle of a fight.
Yeah.
So, yes, I will say that from a viewer's perspective, it looked like... So, I'm going to walk back my statement there. Because I don't think the ball was dropped. I think from a viewer's standpoint, the ball was dropped. But because I have experience being in one of those fighter meetings, because I have that experience, I know what is legal and what is illegal. Even like the least experienced referees are gonna be good at like the fighter meetings.
Yeah.
You know, because they have to. The commission is right there.
Yeah, like that's part of like your job. That's what.
Well, I'm just saying, like they have a representative there. Like, okay, so there's a commission representative. There's like a doctor. There's whoever's wrapping hands, and like they have it with everybody. And if anybody has a question, you can do it right there, and then they take you individually. So there's just no fucking excuse.
Yeah.
Especially since it wasn't his first fucking fight. So the motherfucker knew the rules.
Yeah.
I have zero remorse for the result.
Yeah.
The only remorse that I have is that Brett Martin had to take those illegal shots and then get booed out of the arena. That was not his fucking fault. Okay?
Yeah, that
was not his fault.
That was such bullshit.
I do not agree with that at all. So as a fan, I'm disappointed in other fans.
Yeah.
You know, because we're bloody Americans. All we want to see is the knockout. You know? We just want to see blood.
Yeah.
That's why they call us bloody Americans. You know? So it's just... I wish that we could have like less bloodlust and more compassion for what was actually happening. What was transpiring in front of these people's, you know, probably drunken, glazed over eyes, right? Because when I'm at live fights, I like to have a couple drinks or two. Well, we don't have endorsements from Dos Equis or Kraken, so we can't.
Yeah. We
can't show you the labels, but we can say Dos Equis and Kraken.
We can say it, we can't show it. But hey, speaking of live fights, where the hell are we going? July 26th.
July 26th, we're going to be in Phoenix at the Comerica Theater watching LFA 72 from Cage Side. And that's Anthony Burchak versus something Hernandez.
That was so seamless until something Hernandez.
Yeah. And if his first name is something, I am the fucking man. Let me just put it to you that way. Okay? If that happens, I should buy a lottery ticket because I win. I just win. But anyways, yeah, so July 26th, that's next month. So that it's less than a month away now. Because we found out, like, what, a couple days ago?
Yeah, I think we found out on Wednesday is when we found out.
Okay, so I'm pretty fucking stoked. Okay, was it last week?
Last Thursday.
Last Thursday we were in Phoenix. We were over at the Van Buren. Okay, and we were able to take in some live fights for the Valiant College Prep, which WFF put on this amazing fucking show. There was pros, there was Amis, there was a plethora of like UFC and Bellator champions. Okay, because there was motherfucking champions in the house.
Yep.
Contenders. Former champions. Some guys that fought in the UFC and now train the best fighters in the world. Like, it was awesome. We got to see. Let me just list off a few of the fighters that we actually got to interact with. Benson Henderson. Okay, Ryan motherfucking Bader. He's a champ over at Bellator. Okay, and was a top contender in the UFC before he decided to make the move. Dan Moret was there, who actually fought tonight, as a matter of fact. Aaron Simpson, who I really dug Aaron Simpson. Okay, he was one of those UFC middleweights and welterweights, because he eventually dropped down to welterweight, that just kind of called it a career very quietly. Looks really fucking good. He doesn't look like he's out of shape. He looks like he'd probably get back in there and mix it up. Henry Cejudo was supposed to be in attendance, but with his injury on his shoulder, I think it was actually left. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I think he was still in recovery from that shoulder surgery.
Shoulder
surgery.
Okay.
There we go.
But Eric Albarracin, his head coach, trainer, manager, whatever the hell he is, he was there. Really cool guy. I love the dude's energy.
Yeah.
And I really like. Okay, so this is one of the things that. Okay, so Ali Abdelaziz, he's a big time manager. He manages Khabib, Kamaru, Marlon Moraes, Frankie Edgar. And all these guys, like, they stand by him. Like, they will fight in his honor, I'm sure. Right? He gets some great opportunities. Do I like Ali? I wish that there's some things that I wish that he wouldn't do. Yeah. Talking shit to other fighters, starting shit with other fighters. Like, you're not a fighter, you're a manager. Act like it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But he gets his guys opportunities, and the passion and compassion that he has for his fighters, he's one of the best. When it comes to that, hands fucking down. Like, if I had a manager, I would want it to be Ali. If I had a fucking head coach, I would want it to be Albarracin. So, like, those are the guys that you would want in your fucking corner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, where was I?
You're talking about managers.
I was talking about WFF
and
at the College Valiant Prep.
Yep.
So, like, we got to take in these fights, and they gave us fucking amazing seats. We were cage side. As a matter of fact, the distance between me and Jonathan right now is farther than we were from the cage. So, this Valiant College Prep, it was a fight in the middle of the week. So this was on a Thursday. So we literally, I had to, like, get done with work, go home, shower, get all our gear, and then drive to Phoenix, right? And I live in Tucson, so you actually had to travel from Sierra Vista, 5 towns over, get to Tucson, 6 if you want to count that I live in Drexel Heights, Arizona, right? And then we have to drive to Phoenix. Okay, and like I said, we get there, you're taking in all these amazing fighters. even former UFC fighter Yeltsin Mesa was there. So there's just a plethora of talent. Sugar Sean O'Malley was there, which he actually got his fights removed. He tested positive for the drugs again. Not the drugs, but it's the same drug that he had in his system before. So they're thinking it's like a pulsing effect, like the John Jones thing.
Gotcha.
So I don't think that he's cheating again, or that he probably had like a contaminated supplement, or at least that's what you hope, right?
Yeah.
Because the only like fighter to get like caught cheating and just you fucking got me, TJ Dillashaw. You know what I mean? Who, if I read correctly on the interwebs, is starting a juice bar called like Clean Juice or something like that.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, probably should have worked on that name a little bit.
Just a little bit, yeah. Clean Juice, and then Poppin' Dirty. Might want to call it Dirty.
No, just let's let's leave that one alone.
Yeah. I'm gonna just drink my clean water over here.
I'll drink my
contaminated.
No, it's an unnamed alcoholic beverage.
I think I could live with that.
2 X's? Do you think that's too much? I'm facing the label that way at least.
I think I had mine facing that thing the entire time. Oh well.
Anyways, I digress. Where were we? Help me back. Help me back.
I think we were gonna start talking about Titan FC 55.
Okay, so you didn't watch this card, so
no.
Let's just go ahead and run through it real quick. We're already like almost 50 minutes into the podcast, and we haven't even touched the UFC or Cage Warriors. So you had guys like Dana White Contender Series veteran Chase Hooper. He got a win over former Titan featherweight champ Luis Gomez. In your main event, you had Juan Huerta defeat Claudio Ledesma to defend his flyweight title. Those motherfuckers were flyweight? Holy shit.
Wow.
They looked huge. So props to the fucking whoever was taking video that night. Made them look like giants. Okay. Irvin Rivera defeated Matt Waggy to get the interim title. It was body kicks and punches that got that one done. Bruno Oliveira defeated Jared Gooden, not Jared Gordon. Okay, defeated Jared Gooden via elbows and punches in round 1. Jeremy Holloway defeated Mark Stevens. That was a split decision. So that went all 3 rounds. Timothy Tavares defeated Kyle Urdaway, and that was a catch weight, and that was another split decision. And then Dean Barry defeated Corey Samuels via TKO strikes at the end of round 1. So you had 2 championship fights on there, and you had a Dana White Contender Series veteran, Chase Hooper, which I think he goes by the Teenage Dream. Let's keep an eye out on this dude, okay? Because not only is he tough as shit, but he's super fucking good on the ground. Super good on the ground. Like
I like those fights.
And his transitions on the ground, they remind me, they're very reminiscent of like Ben Askren, right? Because Ben Askren can get taken down and turn it into like a better position for himself. You know what I mean? Or like he could go for a takedown and the guy starts to like get out of it, and then there's a scramble and he always ends up on top. That's one of those things that I really dig about Ben Askren, is he's like a cat, right? He always a cat always lands on its feet. Ben Askren always lands in the better position.
Yep.
He is one of the best scramblers in the world, because he's not the best wrestler in the world, okay? But in MMA, his transition wrestling is fucking ridiculous. His scramble ability is fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean? I don't know that there's anybody at 170 pounds that could compete with his ability to scramble. You know what I mean? So barring that he gets into a jiu-jitsu match with like a Damian Maia or something like that, because I do think that Damian Maia probably possesses the credentials and the ability to probably get it done, which I'd kind of watch that. I'd kind of watch the hell out of that. You know what I mean? 2 guys that are really fucking good on the ground and like aren't scared of what the other one can do.
Yeah.
Sign me up. Like, I'd watch the fuck out of that. And I'm not like a big fan of Damian Maia. I'm a big fan of Damian Maia as a person. I think he's really great. But as a fighter, he's
like one-dimensional kind of.
He's the last of a very few that are like, you know, just supreme athletes at one trade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a master plumber that, you know, claims he's a jack of all trades, but a master of none, and then like just takes all the plumbing jobs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was probably like a bad metaphor or analogy, but whatever.
People get what we're trying to fucking
So yeah, Titan FC, super fun card. Like I said, I'm looking for the next one because especially like with the guys that ran that show. I don't know if it was like, you know, the presidents or CEOs or whatever, but there was this guy. He was in a button-up shirt. He came out, and you know, he was manning the mic quite a lot. But the dude was like super passionate, and like he did this thing because like some dude had passed away, and he was, you know, former military. He didn't pass away, like he took his life.
Yeah.
And they did like the whole 10 seconds,
like
the 10 bells or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, everybody was super quiet, super respectful. I mean, there was tears coming out his face. There was almost tears coming out my face. You know what I mean? It really like it hit you right in the feels, and like it kind of just like set the tone for the whole night. Like I said, every fight was fucking, you know, action packed or a finish. You know what I mean? So you got your fucking money's worth, and just like, you know, the promotion itself didn't lack compassion.
Yeah.
So, and it was like very like high energy. So I really enjoyed that. So I'm definitely looking for the next one. And then again, Cage Warriors, we didn't get to take in this one, so I'll just give you the main card read off, if you will. Oh no. Declared a no contest. Excessive blood on the canvas.
What?
So we are definitely
That's
going
a
to
thing?
have to rewatch that. Yeah, this was to unify the welterweight title. So it looks like Ross Houston was probably your champ, like your undisputed champ, and Dalby was probably your interim. That's what I'm assuming here. So yeah, we're gonna have to get some clarification on that. Jai Herbert defeated Jack Grant to claim the vacant lightweight title. That was at the very middle of round number 3, and he got that done via TKO. Mods Burnell defeated Dean Truman to claim the featherweight title, and that was the Japanese necktie. I saw that fucking highlight, and that was dope as fuck.
That sounds fucking terrifying.
Yeah, that was fucking cool as hell to see, and it was for a belt. So I'm probably thinking that our boys at MMA Junkie, that one's going to show up in your submission of the month, and don't be surprised if it wins, because that was cool as shit to see. James Webb defeated Nathias Frederick to retain his middleweight title, and it was declared a majority draw. So what happens in a draw in MMA, I'm not really sure if it happens in boxing also, but if it's declared a draw, the champ keeps his belt. They don't just put it in limbo. The champ keeps his belt, and they can either, you know, do the rematch or the rubber match or whatever it is, or they can just move on to the next contender. And all, you know what I mean? So, yeah. And then I had Samir, well, I didn't have nothing. Samir Fadian defeated Sam Creasy via TKO and claimed the flyweight title. I'm loving the flyweights. Titan had a flyweight title. Cage Warriors had a flyweight title. We just saw a flyweight #1 contender bout for the UFC. I'm fucking loving this.
So it looks like that
that division ain't going nowhere.
I couldn't think of the word, but it's just fucking division. Like,
yeah,
what the hell?
Dude, super fucking stoked. I love the flyweight division. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 title fights. We're gonna have to go back and watch this one.
Definitely.
We're gonna have to go back and watch this one. So let's go ahead and jump over to the UFC. God damn it, we missed a good one, dude. We missed a good one. Okay. The Croatian boss getting it done. So this is UFC Minneapolis or UFC on ESPN. Tres? Tres or cuatro? My Spanish is...
I think it's 3. Yeah.
Okay.
UFC on ESPN.
And this is big ESPN. This isn't ESPN Plus. This isn't ESPN Deportes.
It's on TV.
So, yeah. Channel 206 if you got DirecTV, which is what we got.
That's right.
We
the only way to watch TV. Just kidding.
Right? No.
No.
Anyway, so the I almost said the Croatian boss.
Yeah, crochet. I was going to correct you, but I was like, fuck it.
Okay, so, yeah, the crochet boss. Did I say Croatian boss?
Yeah.
I can't wait to rewatch that. I can't wait because that's going to be funny as fuck. So the crochet boss, Maurice Green, defeated Junior Baby Albini via TKO, round number 1. That was super cool. That was super cool. The only thing I didn't like in that fight was Green's defense. And when I say his defense, it kind of looked a lot like this.
Olay.
You know what I mean? Oh, I guess it. Yeah. Hey! You know what I mean? But he kind of like looking away, just kind of throwing his arms up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, so, don't hit me, don't hit me.
Yeah, kind of not to play on his name here, but it was very green.
I see.
You see what I did there? You see what I did there? It was very green. So, but nonetheless, let it also be noted. Okay, so we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Shit.
So
10, 11. There's 12 fights total, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, 12.
12, and we got 2 wrong.
Yeah.
So we went 10-2 on the whole card.
Yep, 10-2, baby.
Bro, if we had put some parlays together, we would have some real money. Why didn't we do this?
I don't know. I was actually surprised at a couple of. I even forgot which picks I had at like last minute.
It was Whitmire and Rocco that had us from going a perfect 12-0. But hey, dude, 10-2, like that's a decent record.
That's a winning record.
That is a winning record, right? Okay, so Green defeats Junior Baby Albini via TKO round number 1. Amanda Ribas. Ribas?
Ribas.
Okay. Ribas? No, we won't go there. Right. She defeats Emily Whitmire via submission, rear naked choke in round number 2. That was our first. Does that put us at 1-1?
Yeah.
Going into the third fight. You ready? Dalcha Lungiambula? Lungiambula.
Yep.
Now, is it Lungiambula or Lungiambula? Tomato, right?
Yeah, tomato.
Okay, well, he defeated Daquan Townsend via TKO strikes, and this was a stoppage I didn't like. This was a stoppage that I actually...
Think it was stopped a little bit premature?
I think it was a little bit premature. I thought Townsend could have taken a couple more elbows. I think it was probably... I don't think the result would have changed. I think Dalcha. We're just going to stick with Dalcha, right? I think that it probably would have been the same outcome had, the fight not been stopped right when it was.
Yeah.
But still, fighters like to go out on their shield, per se. Maybe the ref saved him. But it's just one of those things where it's like, you're kind of splitting hairs at that point. Do you let the fight actually come to a complete stop? Or do you err on the side of, like, this dude's pretty fucking jacked and he's got you in a very bad position and you're taking a couple unnecessary shots?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would rather see an early stoppage than a late stoppage, dude.
Yeah.
I really fucking hate late stoppages. You know what I mean? Early stoppages, you know what? They kind of suck, but life goes on.
Yeah.
With a late stoppage, life might not go on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Life could end. Somebody could die.
Yeah, and like, not to go on like a super crazy ridiculous tangent, but
back in 1982,
you know, this is an MMA podcast, but you know, I kind of watch, you know, WWE every now and then.
Here we go.
But hey, no, but I mean, this ties in with each other.
All right, brother.
So, let me tell you something, stupid dick. You know, with this fight, you know, yeah, it might have been an early stoppage, but the ref said, hey, they're in a very horrible position. You know, any more shots, not gonna, you know, do it. They could get really hurt, seriously injured. You know.
Improve your position.
Exactly.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. And when
Did that happen here though? Because I don't remember.
No, that didn't.
So there was no improve your position.
Yeah.
They just stopped the fight.
Yep. And so in the WWE, it's more of entertainment. My favorite wrestler is The Undertaker. He's been my favorite since 9 to 1. And so,
so I wasn't too far off.
Him and another wrestler, Bill Goldberg. You know, big.
I love Goldberg.
Big names.
That spear. Oh,
well.
I took my brother out with that, by the way, before he got all huge.
It's such an awesome move. But they had a match at their event that they hold in Saudi Arabia. Well, Goldberg did. He was trying to hit the Undertaker, and he fucking split his head open. Clearly had a concussion, but because there's a lot of money involved, at least from a viewer standpoint, there's money involved. You have these two big name stars. Who the fuck are you gonna, you know, stop this fight from happening? Because the fight didn't get stopped. Nobody went to check on these entertainers. You had Goldberg bleeding profusely from the head, which was real, not fake. You also had the risk of, because both wrestlers were kind of fatigued, Undertaker dropped Goldberg on his head, like literally dropped him on his head. I've never seen that.
So like what Andrade did to...
Pretty much.
Okay.
And then...
Thug Rose.
And then Goldberg tried to give Undertaker his move and almost pulled a Namajunas again.
Right.
Almost dropped Undertaker on his head. So those entertainers, they were in dire straits. The fight, everything should have just been stopped, like in this fight. And so that's where you kind of have like, hey, you got to have somebody that is going to be able to.
There's got to be checks and balances.
Exactly, and that's why I'm kind of getting out of the WWE and getting more into MMA, because I like watching these guys fight. I mean, there's a lot of shit that goes into it and a lot of training and stuff, and to see, you know, people actually taking care of each other. Like, yeah, you're going in there to fucking, you know, destroy and get that W, but you're also not going in there like to kill somebody.
Except for Francis.
Yeah.
But he can't help it.
Yeah, that's his nature. But yeah, that's my little tangent on that, because I mean, you've got to look out for that person's well-being, because if not, somebody could get really
While
hurt.
we're on the tangent of The Undertaker versus fucking Bill Goldberg, what is, like, okay, so everybody pretty much knows that wrestling is predetermined, it's fake, it's not real for the most part, okay, it's not real. So couldn't they just like have doctors go out there and hold on, we got to make sure he's cool, and just make sure he's cool, kind of like they do like checking on the cuts, or when there's like a foul, they have the doctor come in and take a look at it. Could they do something like that?
Well, I think they could, but a lot of it also it's more of like a really high level like ballet, if you will. Ballet, or like not ballet, like theater, very like high level like more actiony theater, if you will. So if an actor is fumbling over their lines, you know, you have to keep it going, or else the audience is going to get restless and blah blah blah. Same thing that happens here, but you know, fighters can change that shit in an instant. When someone's like, you know, pretending, or
so you need to wait that shit, will you?
Boom. But if someone's like pretending that they're hurt, or they're trying to make it more dramatic, then it doesn't really seem like they're taking care of their person. It's like, oh, that's just part of the act. And so you really don't know if they really truly are hurt. As in the sport of MMA, you can clearly tell that they're hurt. And so I think to keep the crowd from, I guess, like getting in an uproar, like they
just keep the action going.
Yeah, try to keep the action going, and that
it doesn't benefit the athletes. Let's just put it that way.
Exactly.
Whether you're talking MMA or wrestling. So, but back to MMA.
Yes.
Jared Flash Gordon, he got the W tonight. He got a unanimous decision over Dan Moret. Okay, I probably, I had Dan winning the first round, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And then the next 2 rounds, they were all Jared Gordon. Okay?
Definitely.
And this was a tough one to call because Dan Moret fights out of Arizona, which is where we reside. Mm-hmm. We did not pick him. Okay? But we didn't pick him not because, Dan Moret is from Arizona and we hate Arizona. No, we love Arizona. Okay? And we want to see our fighters win. Okay? But at the same time, like Flash, he's good. He's legit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He had a little bit of youth on his side. Okay? He's a little bit undersized for the division. Okay? But he's coming up, so he's probably a lot faster. Mm-hmm. So there was, you're catching a guy on a losing streak versus a guy who's coming off just a loss, right?
Yeah.
Okay? So, and we're also not just picking Flash because he was our first follower on social media, right? We're not doing that either.
Nope.
So it's not like, the follower versus the hometown guy. No, it's Flash Gordon versus Dan Moret. Mm-hmm. And we sided with Flash on this one. It sucked because the whole time you're also rooting for Moret. Like, can we just get a draw, ladies and gentlemen? Can we just, stop throwing fists and go get a beer? Because I'm down with that. You know what I mean? You don't want to see any fighter lose, but that's just kind of how it goes. And Dan's a super fucking nice guy and super talented. Mm. So I hope the UFC keeps that dude around because, he's kind of our boy a little bit.
I still would have been happy even if he would have won. It would have put our little picks on.
Well, we fucking destroyed, bro.
But it was like, I still would have liked to see Dan come out with that.
But okay, so that keeps our streak alive, right? Now we're 3-1. Mm-hmm. Okay. Up next, recent Headkick audio interviewee, right? Because we were the interviewers, so he was on episode 2 weekends ago. The last time we were in Sierra Vista, as a matter of fact.
Last time we were here. Episode 11.
11, yep. Right? So Eric Anders, he's fighting Vinicius Moreira, right? Or Moreira?
Moreira?
Yeah, we white as fuck.
Fuck yeah.
And now it's on video. You can see how white we are, right? So when we say Mora, Vince Mora, right?
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, yeah, you weren't ready for that. Neither was I. So Eric, your boy, Anders, fucking gets it done.
Devastating knockout. That was...
it was like...
Dude, they showed that shit... They showed that set. They showed that shit in slow motion, and...
So epic.
Dude, I love slow motion. You can see all the ripples in the jaw and the skin and everything. It
was great.
That looks like it hurt.
There was probably a couple shots in there that didn't need to be in there. Kind of like, Menifield, Paul Craig, which we'll get to once we get to the main card. But Eric Anders snaps a 3-fight losing streak. Okay, and he's back up at light heavyweight. Which, in our interview, which if you guys didn't hear that, go back and listen to it. Ricardo Ramos defeated Journey Newson. Did I say that right? Journey Newson? Mm-hmm. Via unanimous decision, 30-27s across the board. I thought Newson missed a great opportunity to finish the fight at the end of round 3.
Yes. He so could have finished that shit at the end.
Yeah, he had him fucking hurt. That leg was done.
Yeah.
So, hope he's okay, but... you see this a lot, right? You see a fighter get hurt, and you see the one who did the hurting, not see what he just did. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe be too focused on the game plan instead of trying to adapt.
Put somebody's light out?
Yeah, shit. You can end a fight due to leg kicks because they can't fucking stand.
Yeah.
We've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Lots of times.
Lots of times. That happened on Dana White's Contender Series.
Yes, it did.
Like 2 weeks ago. So, yeah, that shit can fucking happen. Nonetheless, there was lots of spinning shit in this fight. These guys are pretty light. I believe they're 35ers. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're bantamweights. Ricardo Ramos is actually coming off of his first loss in the UFC. And he took a couple shots, ate them pretty well, and didn't look like too discouraged. So this is a guy who's now, I think, 4-1 in the UFC. 3-1 or 4-1.
Yeah, I know he came in 8-0, and so he's 8-1 now. So I don't know if that would be overall. Or
are you talking about Newson? Because I was talking about Ricardo.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking the other guy. I'm talking about the winner.
Oh, I forgot. We talk about winners over here.
Because we winners. Okay. Anyways, so it shows that he can deal with adversity as far as his career is concerned. You know, bouncing back from a loss, like, it's a tough fucking thing to do. I've yet to do it. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those fucking things. And, you know, he's pretty young. I think he's only like 24, 26.
Yeah.
You know, and so to be able to do that at the highest level in the UFC, you know what I mean? That's really cool. I can't wait to see this guy, you know, grow in the UFC. Because, I mean, he's so young. He's probably still, I mean, you should constantly be, like, trying to learn shit. But I just feel that, you know, he's on the right track. Yeah. Right? So that was your preliminary main event, right? Mm-hmm. Is that what we're calling it?
The prelim-main.
The prelimain?
The prelimain.
The prelimain. So to open up your main card, Alonzo Menafield gave zero shits about all them spinning kicks and took out Paul Craig, the Jew Bear.
Excuse me.
I believe that was his nickname, right? The Jew Bear? Bear Jew?
Bear Jew.
Bear Jew?
Yep.
Yeah. Gave zero fucks about any spinning shit. Took that fool out.
Yeah. Shit. I was ready to, like, write down some shit. And there was only 3 minutes and 19 seconds of this fight. I did find it kind of funny. The corner of Menafield was yelling out some, like, ridiculous shit.
Something about lasers.
Yeah, it was like left, right, 22 laser duck dynasty shit. I don't fucking know. And so I was like, what the fuck? Like, what? I've never heard that come from any corner since.
That shit fucking worked.
It did work.
He walked in like a laser and put the Bear Jew out.
Maybe Bear Jew was number 22. I don't know. And fucking laser 22, that shit.
Okay, well, see, I just don't know if Bear Jews are in season, so I don't know if Alonzo Menafield is going to catch a fine.
Fucking better.
Because, yeah, I don't know if it's just a season to be taking out Bear Jews like that with such precision. I mean, he was out. I thought he was dead.
Hey.
He got up, though. He got up. Paul Craig walked out on his own volition.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so good to see that. Okay, and then another Headkick Audio alumni. Should we just go there? Should we just go alumni?
We ought to. He was our very, very first interviewee.
He was the very first guest that we ever had on the damn show. Okay, Drew Dober. He got it fucking done against Marco Polo Reyes. He got it done in the first fucking round, bro.
And it only took him 67 seconds to do it.
Could you imagine? And you guys can't see it because, you know, something happened to our video. But, yeah. I texted him, right? We're not like besties or anything, but we're chatty on the tellies, right? So, you know, I sent him a message, you know, probably a good while after his fight because I want to make sure that I'm not bothering him right after. Mm-hmm. I'm not that kind of guy, right? But, you know, I just told him, hey, man, like, you're a fucking killer. And, you know, of course, he did the whole, thanks, man. You know, so I'm going to try my best to get the dude back on. Very first guest. I'd love to come full circle, and catch him off a win. Last time we caught him off a loss. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna try and get that back. I'm gonna try and get that back for episode number 14. Okay.
I'm down for that. I'm sure everybody else is too.
Hell yeah. So Drew Dober getting it done, round 1 from Hell P-Chell. This old man gave 0 fucks, had a terrible first round. Okay? Had a terrible first round. But then did the whole 360, right?
Yep.
And he fucking got it done. Against the undefeated Roosevelt Roberts. Roosevelt Roberts, a lot of hype on this kid. Long, rangy guy for the division. Okay? Pretty decent fight IQ for a guy who's only 8-0. Okay? Because 8-0. You know what I mean? It's not like he's 20-8, or 21-9 like our boy Drew. No. He's 8-0. Okay? Comes in here, fights a veteran, savvy, aged, like to perfection, Vince Pichel. Again, he had a terrible first round. Father Time, what you got against Vince Pichel?
Apparently he can't hold that motherfucker down because
I'm telling you,
dude, he kicked it up into high gear that second round, and I
took control.
He did. I don't know what goes on in between corners. I don't know if if fighters just kind of have that little switch that turns on hey, I better get shit done, or if it's the corner getting them hyped up and then they just go out there and they just kind of take that deep breath and just kind of swing and just let shit happen. But I really liked whatever the fuck happened in between rounds.
In between rounds 1 and 2.
Round and 2, yeah.
Because rounds 2 and 3 were all Vince Pichel. So I'm excited for what's next. Now he's 36, so I'd imagine as long as he's injury free, which he claimed, the UFC probably get him back in there before year's end. Damian Maia defeated Anthony Rocco Martin via unanimous decision or majority decision.
What?
I must have been grabbing a beer when the decision was announced. Anyway, Damian Maia sat on Rocco Martin's lap for 2 rounds. And then Rocco jabbed Damian Maia for the 3rd round. I mean, that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah.
Damian Maia as a person, I love the dude. He's respectful. He's classy. He's stick to what he's good at. You know what I mean? You can't say a bad thing about the guy except for his fighting style is not fan friendly.
Yeah. Do you think they could have been stood up way before the 30 seconds to the end of the round mark?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. He was in a dominant position, yes. Was he doing anything with it? No. So, I mean, there's your teeter-totter. Where does the ref stand? Do they want to see action? Or do they care about, it? I mean, he's in a dominant position. I don't want to take this away from the guy.
Yeah.
Teeter-totter. Where do I stand? I'm an action junkie. You know what I mean? So I probably thought that if you're going to stand it up before there's only 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
Because they were there for a minute. So if you're going to stand it up, don't wait till there's 30 seconds left in the round.
Yeah, because I thought he would have at least stood it up at probably 130, maybe 145. And then if it just got taken back to the
here's
ground
my
again,
thing. Here's my thing with the whole stand-ups, right? Okay, so if you hit a stalemate for 30 seconds, that should be enough. Okay, you're obviously not going to improve your position. Now, he was in a dominant position, yes, but he wasn't doing jack shit with it.
Yeah.
I don't care how dominant your position is. Finish the fight or move to a better position to finish the fight. You know what I mean? So, I'm of that opinion. Yes, I'm an action junkie, but give the man some time to work. And I figure 30 seconds. If all you're gonna do is punch the guy in the ribs, Damian Maia doesn't hit very hard. You know what I mean? And that's no knock against Damian Maia and his power. He just doesn't.
Yeah.
Because he's a jits guy. Okay. Would it hurt if he hit me? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Could he turn my lights off? If he hit me in the right spot, probably. But I wouldn't put money on it. You know what I mean? So I thought they could have stood it up. So yeah, it was a yawn fest. But for those guys who like the guys that are really good at one fucking thing. Even as far like as a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fan, like that was not an entertaining fight. It just wasn't. You know what I mean? And I like Jiu-Jitsu. So, in your co-main event, flyweights are alive and well, my friend. The flyweights are fucking here to stay. If they fucking go anywhere, you're going to have this dude sour as fuck. I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to be upset. I'll be more upset if the flyweights go away than I am at fucking Dana White not doing the 65 division.
Yeah.
If I have to take one or the other, give me the flyweights. Give me the flyweights. Because they're bad motherfuckers.
Dude,
this co-main event was fun as fuck.
It was. They were both fast, both sticking and moving. It was just insane.
Jiu-Jitsu, getting it done. Okay, so he got the knockout, right? But on the ground, his transitions.
Yeah.
Bro.
Flawless.
That dude was looking like a fucking, like, you know how you see those videos of like the little fucking inchworm dancing? That's kind of like what I saw, right? Every time he went to the ground, he was kind of just like, and then gets like the top position, right? So, like I said, I'm super excited that it seems like, at least up until this point, right, that the flyweights are here to stay. And I know Dana White have said, yeah, you know, they're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? That was a couple weeks ago, and I was super excited then. But now you've got a true number one contender in Joseph Benavidez, who was he's probably been like the number one contender for a couple years now. You know what I mean? Yeah. He wasn't gonna get the third crack at DJ. Okay, and I thought that since they traded DJ, this would kind of open up that door for Jobin to get another title shot, because he was the last man to defeat. Well, he wasn't the last man, because I think was it DJ, and then I'm not really sure, but he was one of two men. Let's just put it that way. He was one of two men to defeat Triple C. And when we say Triple C, we're talking about Henry Cejudo, the Cringe King, Mr. Cringe, right? But that's who we're talking about. Joseph Benavidez holds a win over the guy. This dude wants to talk about, you're the baddest motherfucker on planet Earth. You're the number one pound for pound. I think what we got to do here is we got to settle this. He can't fight DJ. DJ's not in the same organization anymore. Okay? And he was the last one to beat DJ. Okay, didn't he finish him? No. No, he didn't. But he still got the W, and now DJ's gone. So, that's out of the equation. Last man, Joseph Benavidez. He just won the bantamweight title. So, if I'm thinking correct, he should defend the flyweight, and then the bantamweight. That's just where I stand on the whole thing. Because if Jobin wins, he's got 2 wins. You don't need a rubber match. He goes up to bantamweight, defends his bantamweight title, and then Jobin can kill all these flyweights. I mean, not like kill him, but fight him, right? So, yeah, flyweights, they're still here, baby. They're still here, and I couldn't be more stoked.
Yeah, they're kind of growing on me. I'm more of the heavyweight division kind of guy, but those flyweight guys, man, they can put on
It's the action. It's like nonstop. You know what I mean? And it's not just because they're small. Like, they have less to carry. Like, period.
Yeah, their cardio. Their cardio's fucking insane. They got to do some sort of like insane cardio routine to be able to just go that fast and that hard or at least train to go that hard for like 15 minutes.
See, that's what I never understood. As soon as they traded DJ, why didn't John Dotson drop back to flyweight?
I don't know. Maybe he might.
I think he should. He's not doing too well at bantamweight. And he fought for the flyweight title twice. Okay, and there's some fresh matchups there. Okay, he could fight Jussier. He could fight Benavidez. Hashtag would watch. Okay, but anyways, I could go on about the flyweights. They're here. They're fucking cool as fuck. They were in the co-main event, which was awesome. Dana White giving them some motherfucking love. Let's just sign more of these guys. Let's just sign more of them. That's
Right.
where I'm at this point. You let too many of them go, sign some more, and let's roll on. Okay? Your main event. This didn't go very long. What was it, like a minute 11?
Yep,
1-1-1?
Yep.
Damn.
That's fucking crazy.
Got it done. Okay? TKO. I don't think they declared it a knockout, right? It was a TKO?
Yeah, I'd still say knockout. Well, no, it was a TKO. Yeah, TKO.
Because he wasn't out.
Yeah.
But he wasn't contesting that stoppage. I mean, and why would you? The last thing you need is a Francis Ngannou who's pumped up because he thinks he won, and then you're contesting it.
Yeah, I think that showed a lot of, I guess, how much respect Dos Santos has
Well, not
for
only
his
that,
opponents.
Not only that, but he's a veteran. He knows
Yeah.
he lost. He knows he lost. But it's just kind of one of those things where if you look at Francis Ngannou's last 3 wins, right? You have the Curtis Blades, where Curtis, was up in arms about the stoppage and like how the fuck could you stop it? Early stoppage, blah blah blah. You have the Cain Velasquez finish, right? Where it looked as if like there was something that was landed, okay? And I watched the replay again, okay? And it looks like there's a short uppercut that buckles Cain's legs as he comes in, okay? Now, it wasn't the punch, like the punch buckled the legs, but when the legs buckled, so did the knee. And you could see Cain go down and scream and hold at his knee, which led to the eventual stoppage.
Gotcha.
Okay,
I remember that one.
so like it wasn't that Cain like slipped or his knee just gave out. No, he got punched and his legs went like they
went spaghetti legs.
they went spaghetti and that fucked up his knee. So at least now that I saw it from, I don't know how I didn't see it from this angle before. You know what I mean? But now I can actually appreciate like that stoppage. You know what I mean? Like it was totally 100% justified.
Yeah, exactly.
And before I was kind of on the Cain Velasquez side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course, hometown guy for me and you. Yuma, Arizona, still Arizona.
Team AZ.
Right? But yeah. So and now you've got this one, right? Where it was the stoppage was just weird. So all I'm saying is like the last 3 stoppages for Francis Ngannou were all strange. Like it wasn't like the Alistair Overeem where like the dude was dead.
Yeah, when
You know what I mean?
Uppercutted into the oblivion.
Yeah, there was just strange, like the visual circumstances it was just weird.
Yeah.
I've never seen JDS just kind of like do what he did, where he just kind of turned and then dropped and covered. You know what I mean? I've never seen JDS do that sort of thing. So it was very strange. Nonetheless, Francis Ngannou, you gotta imagine he's next at heavyweight. No matter who wins between Miocic and DC.
Oh yeah, you gotta give him the shot after this.
The only thing that I could say, excuse me, if Miocic wins. If Miocic wins, then you're probably looking at, if DC wants it, a rubber match. Okay? And so that'll put Francis Ngannou like on the back burner.
Yeah.
If DC wins, now you're looking at a fresh matchup in Ngannou versus DC, and a fight that, despite the power advantage for Ngannou, it's a very winnable fight for DC. I gotta imagine if I'm DC, I'd rather fight Ngannou than Stipe.
Yeah.
Stipe is a Golden Glove boxing champion, a fucking pretty good wrestler, okay? I don't know how far he got on the collegiate level because I don't have Stipe Miocic notes in front of me. But good wrestler, good stand-up, good cardio. We know he can go 5 rounds.
Yep.
And, aside from, a quick punch from DC, and an accumulation of punches from Stefan Struve, Stipe hasn't been in any trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And probably what I think is the best heavyweight fight I've ever seen in my life, JDS versus Stipe 1. That happened in Arizona, and I believe in like 2014. This is about 5 years ago. I was live at that bitch, and it was fucking cool as shit.
Damn.
Okay. Well, anyway, so yeah, those are like the two scenarios that I could play. DC wins, DC and Ngannou. Stipe wins, I see the trilogy. There's probably more money in the trilogy for Stipe and DC if he chooses not to retire. And like we've already seen Ngannou, Stipe. We know Stipe can take Ngannou's punches, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, anyone that can take those kind of hits and still stay standing and still say, "Come at me, bro. I'm still here."
What would really? Okay, so this is how this is a perfect scenario, right? This is like a dream scenario. Let's just say DC and Miocic go 5 rounds, and it's an instant classic. Miocic edges him via split decision.
Ooh.
Okay, now I'm not done. Okay, so you have a split decision, so now they're going to do the trilogy, right? They're going to do the trilogy, and they're going to do it like in Madison Square Garden, right? And in your co-main event, because now they're going to do the trilogy, well, Anthony Rebel Johnson, he's going to come back, but he's too big for light heavyweight now. So he's going to come back at heavyweight, and he's going to fight Francis Ngannou in the co-main event.
I'd watch it.
Bro.
That would be insane.
If there's only probably 2 people that could compete with Ngannou's power. Okay? Mark Hunt.
Yeah.
Okay? Got to give it to Hunt. And I'd probably say Anthony Johnson hits as hard, if not harder, than Francis Ngannou. I seen him hit DC and send that fool flying across the octagon. Scary power.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's my dream scenario. There's a split decision win for Miocic. They do the trilogy. And then in the co-main event, they're having Anthony Rumble Johnson face Francis Ngannou. Winner gets the winner, right? Bro.
Dude.
But that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
Dude, I'm going to shit my pants if that happens.
I was like, why are you going to shit your pants right now? That's kind of weird.
I got to go.
Anyway, so that's UFC on ESPN numero 3. What do we got next week?
Dude, I think we got a bunch of shit next week. Next week.
Here, upcoming events right there.
Yep.
Next week, you know who it is. It's the baddest motherfucker on planet Earth. We might see Headkick Audio disband next week. If you keep this shit up, thinking that Thiago Santos is going to do anything to John Jones other than lose to John Jones, like, you're sorely mistaken, brother.
Nah. You know, I think Jones is going to win, but, you know, just for the sake of, you know, just good hatred banter, I guess, between 2 cool fucking dudes. But yeah, that card is stacked. It's gonna be really
It
good.
has both GOATs.
Oh yeah.
You have the greatest all time for the men and the greatest all time for the women. And I probably put money down. Okay, I would put my house on John Jones. Okay?
Whoa.
Yeah. Right? I'd put my car on Amanda. You know what I mean? Because Holly has proven that she can take down the mythical beast. She was the first one to defeat Ronda Rousey. Okay? She's got some slick fucking head kicks. Okay? So I'm not counting Holly out. But I would bet the car that Amanda's gonna fucking win. I think we're gonna see 2 title fights with the greatest of all times retaining their belts within 3 rounds, both times, both events, or
Yeah.
not, or both fights.
Yeah, I see that. I can see that happening.
Yeah, you want to bet?
No, I ain't betting shit.
Yeah,
I ain't got
exactly.
nothing to bet.
All right.
I'm one broke ass dude.
Yeah, we also got some Dana White's Contender Series. So we'll be at you next week with episode number 14. We'll try and figure this fucking video thing out. Yeah, go ahead, baby.
Oh.